26 is my year of reading. I have decided to take my life seriously. Well, I started taking it seriously last year, but this year I want to take it a notch higher by buying more books, reading more books, both fiction and non-fiction, and most importantly, books that are related to my career, that's design, because it is fundamental to my success and my growth. I believe that as designers, we should read more often than normal. There is so much knowledge in books that we are yet to uncover. Shout out to Life Meets Code for inspiring this video. I have 5 design books here that I'm starting off with for this year 2026, and they cover the fundamentals of graphic design. That's typography, layout, color, and introduction to brand identity design. So the first one I'm going to be touching on is typography. The book I have on typography here is this book. It is Stop Stealing Sheep and Learn How Type Works by Eric. This book was recommended by Chris Do, and that tells you how much I want to really read this book. Everything in graphic design has its own use. If you fuck up on principle, your design is fucked up. Typography is what defines your message as a threat or a love letter. I don't know what to expect from this book yet, but I am looking forward to what it has to hold for me. Some book I have here is on layout design, and it is Layout Essentials 100 Design Principles for Using Grid by Beth Tondrew. This book, I bought this book last year, and I have read this book, but I'm yet to finish this book. This is one of those books that you have to reread over and over again. It's not something you have to read at one go. I mean, this is applicable to all books, but this book in particular, you have to take it slowly. So I'm yet to finish it, but I hope to finish it this year and go through it. So it talks about elements of grid, basic grid system, how you can lay out your design. It helps in graphic design. Especially, it also helps in bits of web design, how to lay out your let's say zones. It is really helpful, and it uses real life experience. Even branding, it has something on branding where you can play around with type and grid, and it's going to be bold. It's going to carry along the audience. The audience will understand what your information is about. It also tells you how to combine different elements when it comes to layout design. Aside from it being just layout, it also incorporates how to use other elements of graphic design. Say for example, colors. In this chapter 41, it uses color as a key component, how you can use color to get attention. It features real life projects that you can see how it works, how to marry color and typography together that makes it work. Branding for events is also featured there. Newspaper design is also featured there. Working with apps is also featured there. There's a lot featured in this book, and there's a lot it has to cover. The third book I have here is on color. It is The Little Book of Color: How to Use Psychology of Color to Transform Your Life by Karen Heller. So this book is not specifically targeted to graphic designers, but it's just generally on color. So you find people that basically work with color, as interior designer, color psychologists. If you just want to know more about design, not design, apologies, you want to know more about color, you should get this book. It talks about color from the beginning, the history of color, how colors came to be, their names, just everything on color basically. The color is something I struggle with a lot as a designer, getting the right color, the right saturation to use, because like I said, when it comes to graphic design, your fundamentals really determine the success of your design. You have to know how to use your typography well. You have to know how to use your color well. There's a slight difference. There's just a thin line difference between red and pink. It looks vastly different, but it's not, because of their different hues, different saturation. It's just a lot to deal with color, to get the right color that will work well for your design. I said this year that I want to know more about color. I want colors to come naturally to me. So I want to understand more about them. So that's why I got this book. What book I have here with me is on branding. It's no surprise, you might have seen my shot on this book. So this is the fourth book I have here. It is Pretty Much Everything by Aaron Drablin. I am looking forward to reading this book. It's on brand design. It covers his real life projects. And one thing I like about all these books I bought is the fact that it uses real life projects in all of it. So when you go through Stop Stealing Sheep and Find Out Type Works, it features real life projects. For example, this one, you can see it is a box thing. It breaks down the typography on this box, this packaging design. So that's one thing I like about all these books that I bought. It's the same thing for this little color little book of color from spaces, real life spaces, so it makes sense. And the thing about buying this kind of book, because it's heavily pictorial, I love looking at things. I love, because what we do is heavily visual. I mean, visual funded by strategy, but I just want to see the thought process behind the works, how they got to where they were, just the story behind the magnificent God work that he has done. Another one I have, this one is just like a bonus. I spoke about this book earlier. This is made by James. It's also something similar to it, but this one is, I think this one, I've not read this yet, but if I should compare and contrast, this is more like, this has more pages than this, is more heavier than this. From the storyline of this, we're able to see more into James' personal life, his own process, the strategy behind his work, his sketches, especially his sketches. I really love seeing sketches, how he was able to like brainstorm to get to everything. So this is just another bonus of it, but this one is the one like I'm reading for this year. Last but not the least book I have with me here is not specifically on graphic design, but it is on like the business side of just the corporate world, not business side of graphic design, just business side of the corporate world, working in the office, dealing with people, especially as a woman. So the book I have here is Nice Girls Still Don't Get the Corner Office: The Unconscious Mistakes That Women Make That Sabotage their career. One thing that made me also buy it is one of the mistakes she listed, that's avoiding office politics. That he said, if you don't play the game, you can't possibly win. So it's basically saying you have to play office politics, and office politics is not something I know how to do or do well at all. So I'm just kind of intrigued to what I'll find here, because up until like maybe 5 years ago, design is not an industry that was like, that is equally, the access is equally distributed for both male and female. It's just now that you look around, you see a lot of female graphic designer, female brand designers that UI UX. It is not so up until like 5 years ago or 10 years ago. It is not like that. This industry is heavily dominated by male. Even my entry to in the industry, that's my jobs, I was like the first designer that was a woman. So now there's just a lot of things you have to like go through. You have to, I'm not going to talk too much on that, but if you're a woman and you're being in spaces that is mostly men dominated, you know what I'm talking about. So I was just intrigued, like, you know what, I need to, if this person is saying this is like a New York Times bestseller, if this New York Times bestseller is saying we're avoiding politics, office politics, that's one mistake, I'm like, okay, let me see what they actually have to say. Anyway, so those are the books I have to read. As I read them, I will just be probably upload shorts or write a post about my review on them, and hopefully they deliver. It's not a waste of money. If you have watched up till this point, I want to ask you something. So if you are in Nigeria, you are in Lagos, would you be open to like receiving books for free? I'm just thinking, like, I want to give back to the design community. I'm thinking, are you guys really into book? Are you guys really into reading? Should I do a giveaway, or I should just mind my business? And I've had like some really solid book like I want to give away. These books are not new, by the way, so they are pre-loved, they are pre-owned, you know. Is it something you're open to? If it's something you like, and when I say just Lagos, because logistics, maybe Lagos and Abuja, yeah, because logistics sake to like deliver these books, I don't know. Those are the places I know I can afford to pay delivery fee for. Other states, I don't know. If it's something you just want me to do, just let me know in the comments below, and maybe I might consider that if there's like a lot of interest in it. I have like probably 5 books. I could give 5 books to one person or 5 books to 2 people. It depends on how we go from here, but that's just it, guys. And welcome to 2026. I look forward to having a good time with you guys. I look forward to our community growing. We are currently at 900 subscribers. That's crazy. Hopefully we hit 1,000 subscribers this year. And you know, if there's anything you guys want me to create this year, please get in the comment section. And if you are new here and this is your first video, YouTube just brought this video to you, you can start by watching this video here on your screen.